And so it begins.
Really?
Didn't begin for you?
Nope.
What else is new?
That's right.
Okay,
I
well.
don't like this new way.
That's no good. What new way?
Where you...
You're not on the right thing. She's not on the right thing. I'll be right back. Wait. See this? What it says here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see now. So when you think you're doing it right, just go down one.
Okay.
And boom.
Oh, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, kids. Got my ship all in order. Jason's is back on board. Bradley's Jewelers. Things that you hit with a stick. Or things that bother Lenny.
What bothers Lenny? Besides me.
Watch the show. That. He missed it. I pointed at the Apple logo.
Ah.
Okay, so let's see. This is going to be an interesting show. Going to be a different show because our new friend is a roadie, and it's interesting because roadies have their own whole culture. The roadie culture is completely its own thing. It's the roadie culture. And that can mean a number of things. But at the end of the day, when you come all the way back down to the basic nitty-gritty of the roadie, it's the same culture, no matter what. Now, my tour manager for the past, how long we've been down here? I ask every week, right? 17 years. I don't need those sounds. I don't need the sounds.
I had to try to figure it out.
You don't remember that it's 17 years?
You don't.
I
Why
did.
should I?
And because you're the one that still had. Well, no, I'm staying corrected on that. Okay. Anyway, since I've been down here, past 17 years, I've had the best tour manager a guy could ever hope to have, no matter what you're ever doing here, there, or anywhere else. Now, it's not talking about tour managers that I have not had, 'cause I'm sure there's some great ones out there. But mine is special to me. And I like the longevity of relationships with crew. And in fact, if you've been starting to see the Vernon Kelton Band advertisements for the live Roy Orbison documentary that I am producing. Let me give you and this is fun for me because you guys get to be right in from the very beginning, and this is something that you'll be able to see because they're going to play all over the place, and we can. Who knows who knows what trouble we might get into, but it's interesting because you need a sizzle reel, and I think I played you the sizzle reel, and if I didn't, I'll do it another time.
You did.
And you need a PR picture. Well, we got.
You were telling about that last night. You actually showed.
Right, I showed, yeah. And so today, we actually hired a Manhattan photographer who moonlights with CBS. No, it's probably the other way around. But we hired a pro, and we thought we would do a favor for somebody and use somebody's friend. And man, let me tell you what, don't do that. Just don't do it. Has it ever worked out for you? Hey, yeah, use my friend. Or can we use your friend? Or what's your friend doing? Just leave it, okay? Do it yourself or pay somebody to do it right. Simple as that. Or just leave it.
Although, the guy from CBS is Keith's friend.
Yeah, but okay. It's a little different. I think they're
He
friends.
works for CBS.
Works for Nora O'Donnell, so we just
yeah.
we just taped her
And
news,
he's got
so
a
we'll
website
check her
with
out.
professional pictures.
Anyway, the
on it.
he's a monsterly good, and he's a music guy, rock and roll photographer. And not that I wouldn't use Vicky Sullivan. Vicky, I love you. I don't know where you are in the world,
She's,
but
down
this guy's
here.
in New York, and so he's taking pictures for us on Thursday. So guess what you'll see on Friday?
Pictures.
Very good. Pictures. Now, I don't want to pull a Billy Joel, so I'm not going to say anything else about, you remember, Liberty and that whole thing. I'm not going to say anything about,
Right.
about this.
Okay.
Can you see what I'm doing? No, you can't. But she can. So she knows what I'm talking about. Oh, you might have caught me there. Anyway, but suffice it to say, this with a little bit of effort, a lot of effort, it's working out great. We have a fantastic agent in New York, and things are happening. So there's that. But to the point of roadies, you can put all the band guys you want together, and without roadies, all you have is spilled milk.
Bunch of idiots.
No!
Yeah.
No, I could put a band together. I know enough guys now after years to be able to put a band together that could function on its own.
Bunch of whining prima donnas.
That's not even true. These guys,
Well, it's not true of Randy Jackson.
that's true.
He drove a truck with your drums in it all the way from New York to Florida.
Yep. Just
So-
for some soup.
Props off to you, Randy. No, we took him for Indian food.
Yeah. Well, that's not why we did it.
No.
Anyway, that, so you need a good crew. Now, this documentary is obviously the life and times, Roy Orbison's life and times, and there'll be multimedia with it. There will be pictures, and there will be voiceover, and it's going to be a whole, kind of cool production thing. And no wigs.
No wigs.
No wigs. It's the telling of a story. It's not, it's not the reenactment of anything. So we're not going there. But there will be visual portions of it. And so for me as a producer, this is really, can't remember the last time I put a band together and I wasn't in it. So that half the aggravation is gone right there.
That's right.
I got to deal with just the same people I've always had to deal with, only not the band.
Well, you
Go
got
ahead.
to deal with them too.
No, I do have to deal with them too. But I hired crew. I hired the crew, the
Speaking
road
of them,
crew.
Keith Crane's in the room.
Oh,
The drummer.
wow, Keith! Now's your chance. Meet and greet. I'll see. Is he in the? Where is he?
He's in the room.
I'm looking. I don't see him.
He said
Okay.
he resembles that remark. I guess.
You should resemble that remark. I guess you spoke. Well, you know what?
Prima donnas.
Not prima donnas. You can't do that. These guys are so easy. It's like I think somebody's
not
punking
them.
me.
I'm talking about just musicians.
Oh, just musicians in general. Oh, well. Then I get counted in there?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
You're leading the parade.
I like what I like. But anyway, I'm very happy about the results that we've been getting and the things that are happening. So Friday, you'll probably see some new material.
Like
and-
the new Macy's Thanksgiving Day
Yeah,
balloons.
yeah. Did you see the new balloons today? I don't think so. Anyway,
We did.
we did. And they used to be in New York. And I remember one time, not so long ago,
Well, it was over 17 years ago.
that's true. That was over 17 years ago. It was probably, 99 or 20 nothing?
20 years ago.
Well, anyway, after a night of fun and frolic at the China Club, one of the owners said, "Hey, let's go look at the floats for tomorrow's parade." Tomorrow's parade. Okay, and we walked. I don't even
It
know
was
where we
freezing
went.
out.
Of course, it was freezing out. It was.
Well, it's not like that up there now.
No, well, that's because we don't want to go there. But long story short, we went to the warehouse where all the floats were.
In New York.
In Manhattan, and I guess warehouse space is a little bit more expensive these days, so they moved it out to New Jersey. But it was really cool. I mean, some of the cool stuff that you get to do is cool, and that's why we do it, because it's cool, and that's why.
Oh, your guest should be coming in any minute
My
now.
guest should be coming in any minute now,
Ken Barr.
and before he comes in, let me show you
I'll tell you
this.
who he has worked for. He has worked for Kiss, Alice Cooper, the Bangles, just to name a few. And he's got a book out called We Are the Road Crew.
There it is. There's the picture right there. How'd I do, Angus? Good? So buy the book.
Oh,
Where can we buy the book? Amazon. Don't tell me, let me guess.
Is going to be on it.
Who's going to be on?
The guy from Aruba.
Oh, okay, good.
No, they're asking.
Oh, when?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Right now, I've got
We
Ken
don't know.
knocking
We
on the
have
door.
right now we have Ken Barr.
You want the guy from Aruba again? Okay.
Well, Diana Good does.
Okay, well.
All right, Diana. We'll
Good,
try to
Diana.
think.
That's good. All right, Ken's here. Let's talk to
All
Ken.
right,
I'm
let's
going to talk to him
to
about
Ken.
his book. You're going to find out roadie stuff. So here we go. And ring that bell. Come in. Who's that knocking at my door? Who's that knocking at my door? Come on in, Ken. Hey, there he is.
Made it all in one piece.
You made it. Very good.
Oh, were you guys having a party over there?
Always,
yeah.
bro. Oh, what do you think? We're not having a party? We're having a party.
I'm on the wrong end of this computer thing.
Yeah, yes, you are, but you got the bird.
He's got a
Yeah,
bird?
that's true.
I see the bird.
Is there a bird in that
Looks
cage?
like there's a white bird. Is there a white bird in there?
There's two. They're both cockatiels.
A
Uh-huh.
white bird in a golden cage.
Right. White bird. It's a beautiful day.
Yes.
They've been with me 27 years.
Wow. And do they come out, or are they always in there?
No, they come out. They'll sit on my shoulder while I'm making breakfast. It's very
That's cool.
family. Oh, yeah.
And have they always been together? Are they a couple?
I think they're both males, but I couldn't tell you for sure. They just hang out and play.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, if they haven't
No,
had-
that's true. That's true.
It's a new day, man. Just watch the morning show. It's a new day. So, man, I saw your book, and I'll put it up again.
I appreciate that.
Well, that's, I mean, let me tell you, all the laughing aside, when we decided to throw our hat into the streaming ring, and what am I going to, I started by trying to play videos, and, you really don't have the bandwidth or Facebook is 720p, so you can't really...
Videos of your bands.
What?
Videos of
Yeah,
your
video,
bands.
videos of stuff that I have done, and it's good, but I decided it would be much better to meet new people or talk to friends that I've known and haven't seen in decades, and
Sure.
it's all the stories that no one ever hears, because you always hear Billy Squire's story, his famous bus story, or somebody say, you've heard all those, but your story, except for the book, the very
Yeah.
famous book, which I will show again, just to show you some love,
Appreciate that.
and boom, there, ooh.
Oh, that is actually the audio version you've got there. There is an
Oh, okay.
audio version.
I thought it looked like a CD case,
Yeah,
but
it
I
says
didn't want to,
narrated by Timothy McKean.
Well, that would, narrated.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
I
was
Yeah.
like
see.
reading it.
I should have.
I made the arrangement to do the audio, and a friend had a studio he worked at that had some time. So I went in there and I started reading the book, and I lasted 10 minutes. I said, nope, ain't gonna happen. I totally froze.
Oh, really?
But
That's
but
interesting.
But with Audible, you can make a deal. They've got on the other side, they've got guys that narrate that haven't written a book, so they'll put you together with people. And I had 3 or 4 guys actually audition online, and Timothy was great, knocked it out of the ballpark. It's tedious work though. Oh
Wow.
goodness.
Well, I know a little bit about that. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever met Timothy in person?
Never.
Ah, you see? That's the same thing with half of my new best friends. I've never
More
been in
than
the
half.
same... More than half?
Yeah.
Well, that's right. It doubled from 1 to 2.
Angus, our showrunner.
Yeah,
we've
Angus.
never
I've
met.
never met Angus in person.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
This is like a sci-fi show where nobody really knows each other.
Exactly.
like
Well,
a
I'm not really me.
I'm a 7-foot tall space monster.
That's why I'm out here, man. That's why I'm out here. So, but I think it's cool that you wrote a book. I think, we shouted out a couple of the people that you've worked with over the years, and I was talking at the top of the show how the roadie culture is much different than the musician culture. You guys, if you're in a running band, and not if you're doing weekend warrior stuff, but if you're in a band that's touring 3 months internationally, there's a whole roadie culture that goes along with that, and I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about girls, Ken. I'm talking about drugs. No, no.
That's what I was just making sure.
No, it was. It actually isn't. It isn't because we get all the good drugs, and if we're feeling good and the drugs are good enough, we give some to you.
Yeah, but some bands.
But
Yeah.
no, what I meant by the roadie culture is, to be serious, is you guys are on a whole different clock than the band, no matter who you are.
And a longer clock as well.
Yeah.
Yep, you got to load in at 3. You got sound check at 5. You got dinner at 6, and then the band comes on at 8. And by 9:30, you're starting to break it down. And
Well, actually, like when I was with Kiss, the morning started at 6 or 7 a.m. and we would have 18-hour days and just enough time to get from point A to point B and do it all over. So the whole point of loading out, get everything in there, grab a shower, grab a pizza, and get to bed because you weren't going to get much.
Well, I mean I know that to be true, and it's funny because I was usually the one. Well, in our situation, or in a couple of our situations, I was the one who always hung with the crew if they were coming to the party at my room. Because we would leave and either go back to the hotel or back to the bus. Now, if it was a bus, our bus would, we would usually leave before you guys. And then...
I imagine Kiss was flying places, though.
Yeah, but not the gear. Can't fly that gear.
No, the crew had to drive the gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Kiss, you mean Gene and Paul?
We're flying.
I'm sure.
And Ace.
I'm sure. Well, Ace was always flying.
Yeah.
Did you work with Ace? Ace is an old friend.
No, I left when Eric Singer brought me in, and that's how I got the gig, because we were doing Alice Cooper together, and his drum roadie couldn't do what needed to be done, so I was always helping. And I had already previously drum tech. That's when I met Eric. He was in Badlands with Jakey Lee.
Oh,
And
wow.
I don't think it's the same Badlands. Sorry, go ahead.
And oh shit, I lost my train there.
Jakey Lee, Eric was in Badlands with Jakey Lee.
So I knew Eric, and we were out on an Alice Cooper tour, and Eric and I were having dinner, and Eric Carr had very recently passed away.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I knew everybody kind of knew Eric was going to ask, and at dinner, just he and I, he asked if I would do it, and I said, brother, I'd be honored. I was one of those New York, Long Island kids that loved Kiss, and to get to do it and to work with someone I respected as much as Eric. I mean, total respect for him.
Yeah, and it's well, that's an interesting juggernaut, because like I said, I know those guys from before they were. I know them from the beginning. They used to come to see my band play in Yonkers, and man, they did pretty good.
Yeah, they did.
And in fact, the last record that I made before I moved down here from New York was with Ace, for a solo project. So it's interesting. I don't know Paul and Jamie. I played with Paul. He came to one of my birthday parties at Spodiotes, but I don't really know him or Gene. Ace, I know very well. Anyway, and who was playing guitar back then?
Bruce Kulick.
Oh yeah, great guy. I haven't seen him in a while.
Documentary, the Kiss documentary?
Yeah, have you seen the Kiss documentary?
No, I didn't even know there was one.
Oh, there is.
Oh yeah, there is. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you would probably. Sorry, say again.
Is it a Netflix deal or where is it?
Let me check for you.
She'll check. That's Lori, my producer. That just happens to be my wife.
Works out.
Yeah, I got a better deal on her as a producer if I married her.
Partner. Yeah, it's Netflix.
It is Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what's it called? Because I'm going to write it down right now.
Let's see.
Is it not Kistery?
Is it Kistery?
I don't know.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll
that's
look
on
for it.
biography.
You'll find
No,
it.
that's on biography.
Oh, right. Okay. No, it's oh God,
Hold
I
on,
can't
let me
remember
see.
the name.
Maybe it's the YouTube.
The kid,
one.
I don't know, but
I'll find
you'll
it.
find it, and if she doesn't find it, you'll find it. But so going from Alice Cooper to Kiss, that must have been interesting. Was Greg Smith playing with Alice Cooper at the time?
On the 91 Hey Stupid tour, that's when Greg Smith came in. Him and Vinnie Moore came in as a package, and
Wow.
they were great. They were great. They fit right in, and yeah, that was a fun time with the Cooper camp. It was I mean, it's always been good, but it was all of us were like a band of brothers, and everybody was always hanging out. The band guys would show up early and hang out, or we'd all be on somebody's bus after the show. It was, not to say anything else wasn't that, but
Right.
we were in our mid 20s making good money, doing what we loved and listening to great music that we all loved and respected. So it was just such a great time. People always ask me, who did you dislike working for the most? And I said, I can't say anybody. I was always treated well no matter where I went. So, hand to God, I couldn't be more grateful for the breaks I got. And they all seem to follow one after another. I was on my first Alice Cooper tour, and people are talking about, hey, you want to go out on Kiss a month after you get home? It's like, sure. So it was good.
That's great, man. I mean, it's also good.
I'm
Um,
sorry. Wait a minute. It is called Kistery, and you can see it on Amazon Prime or A&E,
Thank you.
and it's 2 parts.
Yeah,
Of
part one
course,
and part two.
Yeah.
Of course, we got to pay Gene twice.
Let me tell you what, I have way too many stories about that from Ace, and but we're not going there. With it, we're going. You know what? I got a feeling Gene doesn't give a shit what anybody says about him.
Nope.
I
Just give him the Benjamin.
just I don't even think he settles for Benjamins at this point. But you know what? What I actually admire about Gene is he set his own path, walked it, and doesn't really give a shit whether you're walking it with him or not.
Nope.
Yeah.
And if you can, that's nice work if you can get it. I hope he's got a great home life. I hope he has all his business is successful.
His
And
son looks just like him.
yeah, but
On the convention tour where they played acoustic in '95, and then the MTV thing, I ended up bass teching for him as well as doing drums for Eric.
wow.
And 2 times now, I've heard all kinds of things about Gene, and I've feared working for him. I'm sitting in the hotel lobby with a drink. There's a few of us sitting there, and here in walks Gene, looks across the room, and goes, "There he is, Ken Barr, the best roadie in town."
Wow.
Hand to God, and he did that twice to me, and I give him respect. You do your job. He's your friend. If you're screwing around, not doing it, if the gear's not right, if it doesn't sound good, he's going to tear you up, and that's fair. That's the rule.
Absolutely
Fine, I know where I'm working.
That's one of the reasons that I had real strong bonds with my drum roadies because you're like building a thing together. It's not like here you plug this in, put it over. I mean, with a drum roadie, you're working stuff out. There's mechanics. There's all kinds of geometry in it, and I know you know that because Eric played a pretty big kit, and there's
Not
a
only-
certain.
Go ahead.
Not-
I'm sorry.
No, there's a certain chemistry that you have to have with your tech because if something breaks, we're surrounded by it. Something goes down, or I break a head, or which I mean, that hasn't happened in decades. But the one time that the cymbal stand comes loose or something comes, it's nice to know that somebody's there that knows your moves and knows how to get around you and fix it without, So
Well, with Eric also, he sang background, and his arms were always flailing around right where the mic stand would be. So we worked it out where I would sit next to him, swing it in, swing it out, miss his arm, swing it in, and that was 22 songs of that. And thank God I was a Kiss fan and knew the lyrics, because we were able to do that pretty smoothly. But I think that's a testament to Eric's playing as well, to work with something coming and jabbing him in the face and back and forth, and relying, having the trust to know I'm not going to give him a black eye.
Well, or being a singing drummer myself, or a broken tooth, because a 58 in the mouth is not a good thing to get. And I had the same thing, and I did the same thing with my roadie. I had a boom stand with a gooseneck. I never liked the double boom stand, so I used, in fact it's around here someplace, a black gooseneck with a 58 on it. And I used, what do they call, the giant mic stands that they have in the studio with the extra large bass? Atlas used to make them, I think. That's what I used for a mic stand. So there was none of the wobbly stuff. I wasn't going to get it in the face. And, I had that rhythm with my guys. And then eventually I wound up, and this is back in the 70s when the SM-10 first came out, I got one of those and mounted it to a set of headphones, and I was just safe. I had a kill switch. And I was,
nice.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Pretty sharp.
Well, because, and that's to chemistry again, we had a front of house guy who was really our all around, road guy. We had other, light guys and all that, but the front of house guy built our PA system, and he built, he saw the need. He didn't need to have me with a mic stuck in front of my face going, So he said, I'll build you a kill switch. And if anything fed back, I had a kill switch for the can. So I was, but that's years of hanging with people and, getting to know their stuff. So that's cool. So, all right. So if we're not going to ask what your worst experience was, what was your best experience? What was the most fun? And how did it start for you, this whole thing? How'd you get?
Well, let me answer those separately, because there's a high point moment, and then I'll give you the chronology. When I was a kid, I had the Kiss Alive 2, big gatefold, the stage, and the list of the crew, and I knew all their names. I was like, if there's ever an Alive 3, oh, how awesome would that be to be on it? Yeah. Close it up. 17 years later, Kiss Alive 3, drum tech Ken Barr.
Whoa.
That will always be the high point. I'm actually giving myself chills.
Hey, man, You know what? Go ahead. That's the whole point of this show, because I don't know how many other shows you're doing this week, but I'm happy to have you doing mine, because I don't think people have heard your story, and that's the whole point of me doing it in this format. So all right, so you were going to answer the other part of the question, if you remember what it was.
Well, his highlight was being on Kiss 3, his name on it.
Kiss 3.
Yeah. Kiss 3.
And the others had to all start. It started the way a lot of roadies start, being a bad musician and knowing it. And I wanted to be a guitar player. In the book, there's a picture of me with my Fry 8-inch platform boots, and I could not play. It wasn't even to a point where people were like, no, we're not going to humor you. You want to carry this milk crate full of stuff into the bar so you don't have to pay the $2 cover? Okay, that's what we're going to do. So I started working around. I mean, I was knocking around working with bands like, I don't know if you ever dealt with them, like Rough Cut and Syntron and
George. I know. I've had George on the show. I've known George forever.
My God, what talent there! What talent! I watch him on Wednesday nights, and But anyway, the first time I saw George was at Cheers, and the stage was dark, and he starts playing the Getaway riff, down. I guess I get chills easy because I'm getting them again. But anyway, watching, and then the lights come up and those guys come out, and I was like, holy crap, this guy is amazing. And I became an instant fan.
Yeah,
And
Doug George is great, man,
Yeah.
and he plays with Randy. When they do the symphony stuff, I don't know what he's
Randy
doing
Jackson.
these days. Randy Jackson from Zebra,
yeah,
and he still does his show on Wednesdays.
I saw it like 2, 3 weeks ago. So as of then, he was still doing it.
Good. I'll have to
Oh, that's
bop. I'll have to
good.
bop
Yeah.
in on him. I think he does it. What time is it? Is it the
I
same
think
time
he
as?
does it 8 o'clock.
Oh, 8 o'clock. Okay, so
Yeah,
I
I
can
think
bail.
it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll get him. I actually sent him and Greg a drum track to put some parts. Oh no, it was him and Danny Miranda to put some tracks on, and they sent it back, and I haven't been able to get the time to find out what it is they played. But
So what
You know.
instrument did you
yeah, what did you try to
try
play?
to play? Drums?
No, I tried to play guitar. I remember my mom bought me this cheap acoustic and the Roy Clark quick picking, fun strumming home guitar kit. And she'd lock me in my bedroom for an hour every evening to practice. And there I was going along to Roy Clark and never got any better ever.
Well, it's tough to stay in the band as a guitarist and suck. It's easier to suck as a drummer. You get a couple more weeks out of the band before they figure it out that it's all your fault.
I think
But
the key here, though, is she had to lock him in his room. He didn't really want to be in there doing it.
see now, and that's a total difference because my mother had to lock me out of my room.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would get us evicted from the apartment because I was wailing all, and I was Sandy Nelson myself into the sunset.
Well, I think if it wasn't for like the steel strings and the music, if I could have played along to something else, but Roy Clark, God bless him,
Yeah.
great player, but
Not exactly your kind of rock and roll.
Yeah.
well, I was like 8 years old, and my favorite single, which I still own, is The Lovin' Spoonful, Summer in the City.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I love that
Great
song.
And I would love it if somebody would take that song and do a Rob Zombie to it, because it would be an amazing track.
Wow.
Maybe Rob will do it.
Yeah.
If somebody knows them, call them up, because I think that would be a great project, and I think it would be amazing.
Summer in the City. Man, do I remember that. Wow.
What a great song. What a
Yeah.
great
Yeah,
song.
great song. That was a moment in time right there.
Yeah.
So, so you came up on Long Island. Who was the first person that asked you to drag gear?
To drag gear, like local or like my
Yeah,
first tour?
local. First, yeah.
Well, there was a bunch of guys I went to high school with out in Mastic called Borrowed Time. They're a top 40 band. But I had a blast. I was front of house guy mixing them, all 6 channels. And that's all we had, a Roscoe board that had 6 channels and like a little 4-channel expander, and that was all we had.
Wow.
The Tama, the drums were the Tama, the power ones with no bottom head.
Yep. Concert
But
toms.
But we would do, 4 sets a night and have fun. People bring you drinks when you're at the soundboard. You meet women. It was great.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
then the band broke up, and I just kind of started going out to see bands and offered my services, and I ended up with a band called The Cut, which
Wow.
was Tommy Henriksen. I don't know if you know Tommy.
I know the name. I don't know if I know him.
He's in
But I
Alice
know-
Cooper's band now, and John Michelli, who's been playing with Meatloaf,
I know
and John
John.
Roggio, who's done Broadway. A lot of talent in that one band. And then Rough Cut, which featured Tommy's brother Eugene.
I remember Rough Cut. I remember
Yeah.
the name of the band. I don't, we were working every night, so I never got to see anybody except in the Aquarian or the Good Times or wherever the ads were. That's,
Yeah. But anyway, I knocked around some more, made a little bit more money, started to focus, and I ended up through no fault of my own becoming a guitar tech. I learned about the instrument. Al Petrelli hooked me up with some luthiers. I don't know, do you know Al?
very well.
Yeah, he's been on the
Very
show.
well.
too.
He was one of the first guys. We all played in bands at the same time.
he
Al,
was. He
Tony Bruno.
When he was in, Tony Bruno, I
They
worked for
used
him
to,
when he was in Soraya.
yeah. Well, before that, he was in Swift Kick.
Yep. And
And
then
they-
he was in
they-
Vixen for a little bit.
Ah,
Is that right?
No.
It could be. Could be.
Because he came out and played Beat It, which was perfect. And it was a new wave club. So, but anyway, I guess we know a lot of the same people. I figured that.
Well, how could we not? How could you? How could you come up on the Long Island scene in the '70s and not know the same people?
So I started, like I said, the guitar tech, and I had a day job throughout all this. I worked at a car lot changing oil and putting in radios, so that kept me way busy. And then one day, a friend of mine was working with this singer, and he had a single out, I think, and he was working for her. It was Weekend Warrior stuff. And he had gotten a gig with White Lion, and he asked me to take his gig, cover it for him. Well, it was Debbie Gibson, and I busted my ass and made sure I got that gig because that was going to ended up being a tour with a tour bus, a real tour. Her song "Foolish Beat" went to #1, and we were playing sheds all summer long.
Was that with Tommy Williams on guitar?
Tommy Williams, Kirk Powers, Louis Appel,
I know them all.
yeah.
Leo Rizzo,
Tommy's been on twice. Yeah, I've had Tommy on the show twice.
and Adam TC,
I don't know Adam.
percussion and saxophone.
We need to get him on the show.
Yeah, let's get him on the show.
Yeah.
Don't know Adam, but you know.
Great player. So anyway, that once the first tour was over, it was pedal to the metal. I was home from the Debbie Gibson tour mid-September. Phone rang like second day I was home, Air Supply. So the heavy metal guitar tech, ends up with Debbie Gibson and Air Supply. But let me tell you, the Air Supply guys, total gentlemen, wonderful to work for. Awesome. Can't say enough good about them. And we played like a stadium in China. These people did not speak a word of English, but they sang along to every song. They knew them, and it was amazing. There's actually a cool story in the book about the airport in Manila getting shut down as we were trying to leave. So I won't give it away, but it was interesting.
But it sounds like most of the stuff in the book is happy, though.
It is. I had a good time. I have no regrets, and I felt it should be. There were aspects to it I wanted. No swearing for the point of swearing, not cool. Life is good, it doesn't need to be about. I mean, I did stupid things, but not that stupid. So yeah, the book is happy and shiny, happy people, I guess.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That listen, we could use a few more shiny, happy books.
That's right.
I read.
You hear people talking, it's like, oh, I can't touch a road crew book. Ooh, there's all kind of sexy.
That's not true. A road crew book. I would think that would be
Juicy.
Yeah, I would think that would be pretty interesting. Don't forget, I'm a player. I know a little bit about the road crew. Yeah. I know more than a little bit about the road crew.
I think you can make it
We rode
interesting.
on the crew bus when the band bus broke down.
Yeah.
The band bus broke down in Texas.
Yeah.
And we had to ride on the crew bus to where? No, Denver.
Yeah, we were in New Mexico, and they wanted the two of us, not us, to fly
Him and John.
because it was a 13-hour bus ride from New Mexico to Colorado, and so they weren't going to make John fly, and so they weren't going to make John drive on the tour bus because the Star Coach, the air conditioning broke down.
Okay.
And so, you know how many guys are on the crew bus when it's the crew bus. Imagine when the band and and the tour managers are on the crew bus with the crew.
And our 110-pound
And a
dog.
110-pound wolfhound mix.
Yep.
And, whoa, I jumped away on you, sorry. And we wound up, we went out to the coach to say goodbye, because they were going to, I think it was Hemp Hill that was, or Florida coach, one of them. And so John and I go out to the coach to say goodbye, and he said, looks like they're going to have a whole lot of fun. I said, well, they always have a whole lot of fun. He said, you don't want to fly tomorrow, do you? And I said, no, not really. And so we got on their bus.
Yep.
I think it was like 13 or 14 of us and a dog on a frickin' Eagle 15.
Oh God, with no AC.
What's up? Hang on.
Oh, we lost the sound.
Wow, yeah, I lost the sound for a second. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I have some comments here.
Oh, we have comments. You ready for comments? I had muted you by me.
Who are they from?
Well, Mousy Paula, she is a sound woman.
You know Mousy?
From New Jersey. She said, "Roadies rule. We had the most fun." And
That's right.
Gail Ann Murphy Mauk says that she would love to read about the crew.
So there you go. And so to that end, where do they acquire your
Book or
your book?
Amazon is the easiest and the best way. I've got a page on there, Ken Barr page. I've got, I think, 8 or 9 books on there. And that's
all happy books?
I rewrote Christmas in Iceland, and I got top marks from newspapers and magazines.
Really?
Yep. Do we have time for me to go wandering away on a tangent?
Yeah, sure we do. Yeah, we absolutely do. Go ahead.
Well, I was dating a woman from Iceland, and I do everything big. That's just who I am. And it was coming up on Christmas, and I didn't know what to do. And she said that Christmas was always hard because they were poor, and there wasn't anything. So I said, I'm going to do something special. Where do I get the top info? Washington, D.C. I emailed the consulate. They sent me back this packet, recipes for sheephead, which you never want to eat ever in your life.
No.
All sort of other stuff. And then there was a Christmas story, the Yule Lads. And I said, it was hard to read, even though it was in English, because they just ran it through alphabet soup. And I said, this is terrible. It's a great story once you get through it. So I got with an artist to do the drawings, because they had to be perfect. And I found a guy who was born in England and had lived in Iceland for 10 years. He was my translator. He would translate the words. I would put the words the way they should be. And I have 12 pieces of art, which are great. They're little elves, dwarves, and they all have a mischief that they do. The Icelandic kids put their shoes on their windowsill, and if they were good, the Yule Lad leaves them a present. If they were bad, the Yule Lad leaves them rotten potatoes.
Oh.
In their shoes?
Yeah. And the characters are very rustic, because the fable is over 100 years old. So you've got characters like Meat Hook. He goes up on your roof with his steel hook, down your chimney, steals the roast off your fire, up, and then he sits on your roof eating it. These are the kind of characters. So I put the whole thing together and got it published, did all that through Amazon, and it came out beautiful, and I sent copies out. We made Iceland magazine. We made the cover of MLB, which is a Canadian Icelandic newspaper. And the woman I had been dating, I got to meet her family up in Pennsylvania. Karen and I are no longer seeing each other, but her family told me that I'm part of their family. And I go up there like 1-2 times a year. And it's just a wonderful thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, that it's always struck me. You go to the different cultures, and it's weird if you get to spend enough time in any certain country that you start to really understand how different their perspective is on everything. I mean, I get the meat hook elves and all that stuff, but it's true. If you I mean, Scandinavia is just so different than Eastern Europe. It's just all so specific to itself. It's amazing that you got to spend enough time there to connect that, because usually you land, you play, you take off, and that's it.
Well, there was I actually debated moving there because I was with a woman named Nina for a while, and I ended up deciding not to stay, and it didn't work and all that. But I love the culture, absolutely. While I was doing my research for the Yule Lads, which they have their own webpage as well, the IcelandicYuleLads.com, shameless plug.
Hey, there is no shameless plug. Don't worry about that. Believe
okay.
We'll show you shame.
Anyway, I found there were lost Yule Lads. There was no picture. There was just a name. I found an old book with 12 names or 13 names. So I got with my artist, and we worked on, and we created from scratch the Lost Yule Lads off of just a name, and they are part of Iceland's culture now.
Wow, that's pretty serious.
See, this is the kind of stuff that I love. I truly do. And I'm thankful for it, for the opportunity. So, yeah, if you get a chance, check out the Yule Lads of Iceland and the Lost Yule Lads. You can, off of my page, you can just click on it.
Yeah, we'll find it. We'll post it and share it with everybody. That's cool. That's really cool.
Christmas is coming.
Yes, it is. And what a perfect segue for me to go to my sponsor. So why don't I meet you back here in about 40 seconds? And okay, I'll be right back.
Hey, Brad, I hear
Whoa, what's happening here?
Hey, Brad, I hear those sleigh bells
ringing, and that gets me thinking.
Really, Colby? That's a surprise.
We all know spectacular holiday moments begin at Bradley's Jewelers.
That's true.
This year, I say dig deep, people. Romance is on the line. We must make creativity paramount when gift giving. I say raise the stakes.
Okay, why not dream in color with scrumptious sapphires, red velvet rubies, and a host of colorful gemstones from around the world?
Love it. Now amp it up a bit.
Well, in ancient times, smooching under the mistletoe was considered an aphrodisiac and believed to bring you luck in your love life. So why not hang the jewelry from the mistletoe and,
Hey, this is a family program.
Okay, regardless of your innovative presentation, a little special something from Bradley's always puts magic in the moment.
Like warm apples and cinnamon.
You betcha.
Want to see more? Shop online at bradleys-jewelers.com or visit our gallery in Fort Myers.
From a little bit of Kringle
to some tingle in your jingle.
We've got you covered.
Wrapped up and in the bag.
At Bradley's Jewelers.
Mwah.
There you go. That was pretty painless, huh?
I liked it. I liked the way it was put together.
Oh, they're great.
It reminded me of another story. On STP in '97, we were playing an outdoor shed, 17,000 people, and the crew used to warm, sound check because the band didn't want to be bothered. So not that any of us were any great geniuses, but it was fun. Well, the band decided that we were going to open the show one night in '97. So the way their show would start is spots would hit the mirror balls, you'd hear music, curtain would start to open, and the band would play. Well, this particular day, the crew were there, and we opened the show, and it's on YouTube, STP Crew or something like that. You find it easy. And what a blast. And the band come out about halfway through with a song called Meat Plow, and Weiland's like, "Hey, what's going on out here? What are you, kids in the toy box? Get out."
Yeah. Great voice, Scotty. I mean, he was great voice. I loved, I did a event with Slash in Vegas, I think it was, And instead of going for the typical Guns N' Roses song, we went for Slither. And you know, I'm sure you know Scotty sang that, and we were talking about it. It was, you know, he was. I liked his voice. I thought he was great.
He could command that stage like nobody I've seen. I mean, that guy could start a riot and stop a riot just from who he was. And,
Yeah.
Man, I miss him.
He was, he was one of the great ones from that time. Stone Temple Pilots, you know, they really changed the game. But
and
you
Chris
know,
Cornell had a great voice.
yeah, there was a couple. Yeah, I like Chris's voice as well, Chris Cornell. But his Scotty Weiland was just one of a kind.
He absolutely was.
Anyway, that's the way. Now,
the Bangles.
Oh, the Bangles, yes.
Oh, that's right. I was going to do because we were doing the chronology. After Air Supply, I was home, and I didn't want to be out in the clubs all the time. I knew I needed to take a break. So I took a temp job at a fax machine warehouse driving a forklift, and I did that for a couple of weeks. Just, you know, you make your $6 an hour, and you make some friends, and you're not hungover all day. So that was a plus. But then my friend Steve Botting, who got me the Air Supply gig, who I had met on Debbie Gibson, see, the stuff all intertwines. He was going out with the Bangles, and he wanted me to be Mickey's bass tech and do keyboards. Absolutely, I love Mickey. She's a metalhead like me, and we had a great time. The girls were awesome.
Yeah, they were great. Last time, well, I if I'm not mistaken, I think John Entwistle had a little tete-a-tete with. Oh God, why can't her name's one out of my mind? The lead guitar, the
singer.
The singer.
Susanna Hoff.
Susanna Hoff. Yeah. So you know, I mean, that's.
I think he.
I hadn't heard that. I did the tour, and that led to like 2 weeks at home, and then back out with Alice Cooper, and back up on the roller coaster, because that's what I mean. It would go one thing to the next. So I was fortunate, you know, I'll be the first to say, but it was crazy. Then I did the Alice Cooper tour. Then somewhere in there came Richie Blackmore's Rainbow.
Who was in Rainbow at the time?
Greg Smith, Paul something or other.
Paul, what was Paul's last name?
Oh, shoot.
Blonde keyboard player?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Paul.
Our secretary went out with
our secretary went out with him.
Paul.
What was it? Something with an S, I think his last name.
He lived with his grandmother in Queens.
Paul.
I can't remember.
And it was Chuck playing drums at that time?
Chuck Bergy, yeah.
Yeah.
John O'Reilly did the record, but then ended up not doing the tour.
Wait a minute. Which record was this?
Stranger in Us All.
Oh, okay. Was that after Bent Out of Shape?
Oh, Bent Out of Shape was way long ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, 80s, I think.
Yeah, no, this came out in like 95.
Okay.
Yeah, because
it's a great record. Can't say enough.
I was in that band for a week.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you work with Cookie? Yeah,
did you work with Cookie and Colin and all those guys?
No, I don't even know who they are.
Cookie Crawford
was
that was a road crew when I was there, and
yeah.
I would have thought you would remember Cookie Crawford from Long Island, because he's been a road dog just like you for his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess we just traveled in different circles. I don't know him.
Yeah, he was great guys. They were all good guys in that crew.
Was Paul Morris.
Paul Morris.
Bing, 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 bing.
Wow. See, I knew there was an S in there someplace. I just didn't realize it was at the end.
Yes, Paul.
Yeah, that's so. Nobody else would take him because he was a nut. I guess he was some 18th-degree black belt of some kind, and he brings me a keyboard, his practice keyboard, and it's got a footprint in it. He's like, "Can you fix this?" And I said, "Well, I can try. I'm pretty sure everything inside's all smashed up, but we got it going. It was no big deal." But
Yeah,
That's
well,
pretty crazy.
yeah, I remember Paul when I was in the week that I was there. It was David Rosenthal, Jolyn Turner, Roger, of course, and Richie and me. And somewhere along the line, I didn't pass one of the tests. And no, it was
It was
believe
okay.
me,
That's
it was
fine.
very good. It was fine.
Yeah.
I wound up in a much better situation for me, and
How was Richie to you?
how was dealing with Richie for you?
Pretty much non-existent. He didn't acknowledge me, and I found that worked for me as well.
Amen,
He's-
man.
The only time he ever said anything to me, we rehearsed in Copenhagen at the big fest hall, and they didn't give us a hotel. They just parked the bus there and said, "This is where we're staying. They have showers here," which I ended up liking, believe it or not. So I'm losing track. What was I just?
You were in Copenhagen, and he only acknowledged you once.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the stage right wing, and I'd been there for 2 weeks. I mean, I was out, fully visible, but that's where they put me. Well, after the first show, we start loadout. I get summoned to the dressing room by Richie. Now everybody's waiting for the band gear to get out of the way so that they can, lights can come in and all that. And Richie calls me in. He's sitting there. "You're too visible." Okay, no problem. So from that day forward, I would be behind the two Leslies that Paul had as part of his rig. And I would space them far enough apart where when Richie came by, I could stare him down.
That's funny.
He never said a word.
Is that in the book?
Yeah, is that in the book?
I believe it is, actually.
Yeah.
I got to get this book.
Yeah.
I got to get good.
It can be fun without,
Yeah.
My book's not so fun. I mean, that's not true. I had some. Man.
You had a lot of fun.
I had great times out on the road. I had horror too. Nobody doesn't have horror out there, but I had, man. I couldn't wish for better things than I was able to do. So I feel you, bro. It doesn't matter what side of the stage you're on or what your gig is. If you're out there living the life and doing what we do, it really doesn't get better than that, especially if you're built for it, and you're obviously built for it. Guys go out there and they burn up in the first 2 weeks, and that's the end. And other guys, like, I've just had some lifetime roadies. I was saying at the beginning of this show, I've been in Florida for 17 years, and my tour manager ever since I've been here, been the same guy, Henry Smith. And when you get somebody that runs your crew the way Henry ran ours, it's like poetry, I mean, you can't. There's because I don't care if you have a disgruntled crew, and I've dealt with that in certain situations. But I think for the most part, the crews that I worked with, were all treated well, and they weren't treated like hired hands. I loved hanging with the crew because I was probably hanging out, at the club or the venue or whatever it was after hours because, that's just the way it was. Mm-hmm. So,
John loved hanging with the crew too.
Yeah, John Entwistle loved hanging with the
Yep.
crew. He liked hanging with the crew better than hanging with the band. It's the truth, absolutely the truth.
He did.
I believe
And
it.
yeah, it's but there you go.
Yeah.
Where in Florida are you?
Why? I'm in Fort Myers, Florida, on the West Coast.
All right,
Gulf side.
I'm just outside of Orlando.
Oh, okay. So you're up north near Opopka.
Yes, not far from Apopka.
You
Land of
see
Indians.
see this? That Jerry Harvey logo?
Okay,
That's in Apopka.
That's Opopka. That's where they did my in-ears.
Yep.
right on. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Jerry Harvey. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Jerry
right,
Harvey.
Jerry Harvey.
That
I
would be
did,
that.
I did the Kiss Club tour with him.
Oh.
With Jerry?
He was a monitor guy. Yeah.
Ah. Have you ever been to his place in Apopka?
I was at the factory once, and we were going out to lunch. He was like a half hour away from me.
Yeah.
He's great, man. You know, well, it was Henry, the guy that I was telling you about, who used to be Led Zeppelin. You know, you was tour manager for Led Zeppelin way in the very early days,
Bonham's,
Yardbirds, and he became Bonham's drum roadie. But yeah, it was Henry that turned me on to Jerry. And because I was here, I made the trip up to Apopka because they wanted to, because I did, in-ears with 3 drivers. And they said, you got to come up and pick them up because we have to fit you. And I was like, didn't I send you the blue molds from the ear guy? But that's not what he meant. He puts these things in my ears. And you know the part where you can put your thumb in and it fits in that little cave in your ear? Yep. He puts them in and he says, listen to something that you know you like the way it sounds. So I plug it into my phone and I'm listening to whatever. It might have actually been Soundgarden because the one record had so much beautiful, smooth bass. And he said, when you put your finger on the outside, when you touch it, does it get more bass? And I said, yes, it does. And he said, okay. And he pulled them out of my ears and they put some kind of something on that little lump. And when I put them in, it fit that way. I was just gobsmacked by what they did up there. It was amazing.
They're amazing. They are.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, this hour flew by.
Yeah, man, this really flew by. So I realized that all the questions. Oh, well, no. Where was your favorite place out of all that you traveled? Where was your favorite restaurant on the road?
Yeah.
Favorite restaurant? You know, there was this Chinese place in Vienna, and I don't remember the name, but I ate 6 times there because the food was good, and I didn't care that it hurt to put another forkful in. I wish I knew the name of it though. But
yeah.
Maybe it'll come to you. Maybe it'll come to you.
Chinese place in Vienna.
Yep. And if you had been successful as a musician and you could play any instrument you wanted to play, which one would it be? And be shred at it.
It'd be guitar.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Okay, out of all the bands.
Yep. And out of all the bands that you played with, or that you heard, what was your favorite song to hear the band play live?
That's a good one. That's a real good one. Well, Alice Cooper, I had asked for years for Halo of Flies, and in 2009 they actually did it.
Oh.
Wow, cool.
That's my favorite Alice Cooper.
Excellent.
And my favorite Kiss song would probably be Cold Gin, because that's just a great riff. Easy riff.
Okay, and what's the song that you never want to hear somebody ever play again because you just heard it too many times?
I hate to be sacrilegious, but actually no, that's worse than that. I'm trying. I might not have anything for this one. I'm working on it. I got nothing.
Nothing?
No Bangles.
No Bangles, no Debbie Gibson,
no
Only
Air
in My
Supply.
Dreams, nothing like that?
Well, I will admit this. When I was working for Debbie, I love her. The family were always good to me. But I would tend to nod off about 4 songs into the show. So
Okay.
I guess we could say like Foolish Beat, which was a Debbie song. That's
Got it. Yep. Good answer. Good answer. Okay, and the last question if you could put together your dream band to work with, to tech for, to be tour manager, who would be in that band? And it could be anybody, living or dead, or any combination of guys.
You know, it's funny. I've thought of that. Who would I put? Like, suddenly I had talent and could sing, and who would I put together? And I don't want to leave anybody out, but my guitar player would be Al Petrelli.
Oh, Al's great.
Greg Smith on bass, Eric Singer on drums, Derek Sherinian on keys.
Oh.
That 2 years of Alice Cooper, 90-91, that was such a great lineup. I mean, Vinnie Moore's great, but not in a band situation, I don't think. I mean, he just shreds too crazy. Although I do have a good Vinnie Moore story if you have a minute.
Sure, go ahead. We got one more minute.
I used to drink a little bit too much. And Vinny didn't drink at all. And I had a rental car. We were going down Sunset, and Vinny talks very monotone, like kind of flat. So I'm driving, and he's over there, and Ken, Are you okay to drive? Of course I am. Why? You're on the wrong side of the road.
Oh man.
Okay.
Wow.
So maybe you weren't okay to drive.
I'm thinking.
I'm thinking. Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
good.
And let me tell you what, Al Petrelli would be a great guitar player in any band. Al, we used to.
And that's not to snub anybody else. I hate that. Always
You
hate that.
can't have everybody in the band, Ken. You can't have everybody in the band.
That's
You
right.
got to have one guitar player. You can have a bass player. You got to have Greg Smith, and you got to have Eric.
Playing
You know,
Alice
this.
Cooper with you?
Yeah, there's.
Fred?
Yeah.
No, he played in the other band with him.
What band?
What band did Greg play with?
Rainbow.
Alice-
Rainbow.
Oh, he wasn't. He wasn't playing with Al. He was playing with Alice Cooper, right?
Not with.
Rainbow was 95. Alice Cooper was 91 for him. And then he went back to Alice after that. But 95, he was on Rainbow.
I saw Alice Cooper in 1973.
I saw Alice Cooper at what was the man? I can tell you what you need to know, but I can't remember what was the
I
name
saw
of the
him at the
place.
City Auditorium in New Orleans,
No.
Louisiana.
What was the place where everybody played? It was upstairs in the city. Come on.
Beacon.
No, a dive bar that they, not like CBGBs, but like.
Not Tramps. Not,
No.
Tracks.
Oh God! Why can't I think
Max's
of it?
Kansas
Max's
City.
Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Max's Kansas City. Lori Maloney said, "You want to see something cool?" And this was
60s.
This was before Love It to Death or any of that shit came out. And they were doing 18, and they were doing. It was probably.
Kitty Crane just said Max's Kansas City.
Yeah, Max's Kansas City, man.
Actually, that was the
Yep.
first album I ever bought. I was at a
Killer
drugstore.
was
Yeah,
yours.
Alice Cooper Killer, and it had the poster.
My sister
where he-
gave me that one.
Yeah, where he was hanging, and I put it on my wall, and I was like 14, and my mother let me keep it there.
All right, so last question, and I'll let you go for dinner. Did you ever see Alice swing a golf club?
No, because when he's doing that, I'm working at the arena.
Yep.
And our days off were never in the same hotel. So, no, I actually have never seen him swing a club. I've heard
He's
about
a
it.
monster player. I mean, he's like a
Oh,
scratch
absolutely.
player.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
before we go, I also wanted to mention for 2-3 years, I did something called Road Crew Radio. And if you get a chance, check it out. A lot of it's still online.
Road Crew Radio. That sounds good.
It was a weekly thing we did with interviews and stuff. I think we did it for almost 3 years.
Oh.
Well, that's
Where's that,
awesome,
on
man.
YouTube?
Yeah, where would we find it? Would it be on YouTube or where would it be?
Let's do a web search of Road Crew Radio. I'm not sure. I don't think it's on YouTube. I don't know where D put it.
All right. Well, I'll tell everybody.
Well, this
to
would be
Google
the
it.
audio CD
Yep.
from the book of the same name, Ken Barr. All good stories. A rare offering in the reality of rock and roll. All positive story. I mean, I guess I could write that book. It would have to be maybe volume 4 or something, but all good. It's you know what? There's nothing like being in a band or being on a crew or just going down the road. And I say it all the time. Without you guys, we'd be in a lot of trouble.
And without you guys, we wouldn't have a job.
There you go.
So that's the yin and yang of the music business, and it's a pleasure to know you, man. I look forward to reading your book, and thank you for spending the time with us, bro.
Thank you for having me. Look
Oh,
forward to
and
coming
free
back.
for all Fridays.
Oh
Look
yes,
on
I almost
Friday.
forgot. Free for all Fridays.
Anybody that's been
That's been on the show on Friday, it's just come on in for 5 minutes or for the whole show, and I guarantee you will be less than 1 degree of separation from at least 2 or 3 of the people in the room. Fridays, it's incredible how everybody knows each other, and no one's ever met in person.
Yeah.
Can you email me or do whatever? So I
Absolutely, yes. Angus will hit you up and invite you for Friday. It's just, believe me, man, it gets so much fun on Fridays. I never eat my dinner on time.
He doesn't ever want to leave the room.
I love it. It's like hanging out backstage, only nobody's yelling at you. It's like, used to be when you play a union hall. Come on, get out of that. And you'd be sitting in the green room holding court. It's like that, and you'll see there's fine musicians, some excellent techs, and you're welcome any Friday.
I appreciate that.
There you go.
Okay, then.
So you got a home to hang out on Friday anytime.
It's good. It's good to be wanted.
It's, okay, yeah, dead or alive, right?
Hey, we want you. So
Yeah,
come
we do
on
want you.
in.
Yeah, so come in on a Friday. Believe me, you'll have a good time. Like I said, there's 2 or 3 guys in there that are tech guys. There's a bunch of musicians that come in. It's a lot of fun.
The tech girl.
Yeah, Mousy, the
tech woman.
Yeah, I don't even like it's. I try not to do the wow, it's so cool that you're a girl and you can mix sound, because it's also cool that she can mix sound and break your jaw if she
Well,
needed.
one of our viewers, Pat Romano, says Free for All Fridays is the laugh-in of Facebook.
It is the laugh-in of Facebook. So
There you go.
yeah. So please,
Let me toss out one more thing.
please do.
I checked with Lemmy before I used the "We Are the Road Crew" for the name of the book, and he gave the okay. So, because they have a song called "We Are the Road Crew," and got permission from the boss while he was still here. So,
I've spent more than a minute with Lemmy at the Rainbow, and cheers to him. He's a good guy. Was a good guy. Is a good guy. He's just a good guy somewhere else now.
that's it. God bless him.
Yes, I'm
That's
sure he
right.
did and does and will continue to. Ken Barr, thank you, bro. This was a lot of fun, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys again.
Yeah, I hope
Bye,
to see you on a
Ken.
Friday. Come and visit.
Bye.
Take care, man. We'll see you. No, it's not supposed to be off. Oh, there we go. 'Cause I
Okay, well, he was great.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I'd like to read a book written by a roadie that has nothing but good stories in it. That sounds like Alice in Wonderland to me.
Yeah.
No, Road Crew, I'll tell you, I had some of my
They
best times.
can't hear you. I guess they can hear you.
Yeah, they
now.
can hear me now.
Can you hear him now? Can you hear me now?
I used to
Yes.
go skiing with my roadies. We used to, and we also used to go skiing, and we all skateboarded together. Jan, Josh, it was. I had fun
And
with my
Breeze
roadies.
is one of your favorite people in the
Breeze
world.
is still one of the best roadies I ever had. One of my favorite people in the world. Rasta, Richie Handley, great drum tech for many years. Can't forget Musk.
Gail wants to read that book too, she says.
Amazon.
Oh, Tommy Koch says his cousin was Alice Cooper's road manager. Get him for the show, Tommy.
Yeah, line them up, brothers.
Come on now.
All right, anyway, you
Okay,
know how it goes.
tomorrow night
Yes, tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow night.
we have Kurt Trainer,
Kurt Trainer,
bass player in the Ultimate Who Experience.
Ultimate Who Experience, and
A
he's in a
cream
cream
band.
band,
I don't
which is
remember the
like
name of that.
that's.
And he's the bass player, so he would be the
yeah.
John.
So he would not only be the John Entwistle, he would be the Jack Bruce,
That's
which
right.
are two of my favorite bass players that I ever played with.
There you go.
So, and man, that's
Okay, so tomorrow night.
yeah, tomorrow
Kurt
night.
Trainer.
Kurt Trainer, and we'll be telling a lot of Jack Bruce and John Entwistle stories. So, kids, if I don't see you in the future, I will see you in the pasture.
Good night, everybody.
Oh no! I don't understand where all this stuff went. It's supposed to look like this, only the end part. I never got this far yesterday. See ya.